What's up, everybody? This is Patricia Traina of New York Giants on SI. I'm with Brandon Olsen, who's also with New York Giants on SI, and we just finished up with New York Giants OTA number 6. And Brandon, a little bit of fisticuffs there at the end there, just a little bit, right?
Just a little bit. We had a couple punches, at least one punch thrown, a little bit of grappling, mixed martial arts and New York Giants practice today. Just getting all kinds of cardio in.
Yeah, I mean, the temperatures here at East Rutherford, they're in the 90s, so it's a little toasty outside, but the fisticuffs came towards the end when Brian Burns, James Hudson went at it, and then after they broke up, it was Thibodeau and
Jermaine Illuminor.
And Brian Burns spoke about it afterwards. Russell Wilson, the quarterback, spoke about it afterwards, talking about it's a competitive, it's all part of the day, day's work. What did you think about it, Brandon?
I'm fine with it. I think that fights build grit, they build character, and I'd rather have a team that's fighting and cares than a team that is passive about things. I'm fine with it. Been in my fair share in practice. It happens all the time. And, you get into the fight, you hash it out afterward, and it's a little bit of a camaraderie thing there.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they kiss and they make up, and they're all buddies again. Now, other news from the practice, Jaxson Dart, we were raving about him the last time we were here for OTAs. This time, Brandon, not as good of a day, I would say.
Not so much. I'm cool with the interceptions if they're smart interceptions. I feel like he had one in particular that wasn't. There was one that he threw today that I'm pretty sure it was because the play was going to get blown dead that he kind of just threw it down the sideline to Daquan Felton, and Trey Hawkins picked it off. And look, the secondary was playing well today. They were juiced. He wasn't the only person to throw picks. And I think that this is part of that just rookie growth. I'd rather see you make mistakes now, figure out what you can and can't do against NFL athletes week in, week out, and not make those mistakes in game.
Jaxson Dart, unofficially an 11-on-11, finishing 5 of 9, 2 interceptions. He also took a sack. And Brandon, you made an interesting observation about him, how when he was moving to his left side and throwing off balance, that seemed to be when he had his ugliest throws.
Yeah, a little bit. And look, he's got the arm to make any throw that he needs to make. It's just everybody, when they get that little... When they get themselves off platform and going to your left and backing up, and you start doing a whole bunch of things that it just becomes a mess. It's plain and simple like that. But again, it's things that I'm sure they'll look at that practice film and they'll say, hey, that thing, stop doing that, and hopefully he'll take those notes into consideration.
And for those wondering, Jaxson Dart had 8 snaps with the second team. He played 10 snaps total, 1 snap with the first team, 1 with the third team. He's clearly moving into that second team realm. Not quite there yet, but he's getting his opportunities. And like I said, 5 of 9, 2 interceptions and a sack in 11-on-11. That's the official stat that I had for him. And interestingly, we heard from assistant GM Brandon Brown. He spoke about Jaxson Dart, and he revealed something very interesting, saying that when they interviewed different players during the draft leading up to the combine, the top 30 visits, what player would you like to bring with you from college? And Brandon, who did he say?
He said Jaxson Dart. He said guys that were on Ole Miss, guys that weren't on Ole Miss, guys that were on the same Senior Bowl team, guys that weren't on the same Senior Bowl team. He said that Jaxson Dart was, I don't remember if he said it was the most common answer, but he said that a lot of people said Jaxson Dart.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, all's not lost, Giant fans. Don't give up just yet on Jaxson Dart. He's going to have some growing pains, obviously. All right, a couple of other things from the practice today. The play of the day on offense, Darius Slayton catching a 40-yard touchdown pass from Jameis Winston. I mean, it was a beautiful throw. Darius Slayton continues to be kind of under the radar in terms of, we think of the Giants receivers, we think of Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson. Darius Slayton doesn't always get his due, but he continues to do his thing.
I think that now that he has maybe some more willing quarterbacks to throw vertical, I think that now Darius Slayton will really open up his game a bit.
And speaking of opening up, Wan'Dale Robinson also spoke with us today, and he was asked if, with this new quarterback group that he has, is he going to maybe have different opportunities that maybe he didn't have last year? And of course he said, yeah, I think I might get some more opportunities out on the outside. And the first thing that came to my mind, Brandon, was, is he going to be able to handle the outside given how he's kind of, not the biggest guy.
He's compact.
But he's a tough guy. I mean, right?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I think the exact question was, "Oh, are you not going to run 6 yards and then come back anymore? Is that going to be a little bit different?" I do think that Wandale has the skill set to play inside out. I think that he's better suited to the inside, but I do think that you put him on the outside, especially if he's in motion and he's not going to be getting pressed because of that, then you got a better chance of finding success, and you get to put someone like Malik Neighbors in the slot a bit more and have some more fun with that one.
Yeah, definitely. And, on defense, Dane Belton came up with another pick. Now, Shane Bowen spoke with us before the practice, mentioned him as having another good spring. He had a good spring last year. Wasn't able to really, grab the starting job last year in the summer, but Dane Belton trying to make the most of what is a contract year for him in the Giants defensive secondary. And we're going to close things out. Brandon, you wanted to talk about this player, a guy who you thought had a really good day that we probably don't talk about a whole lot because he's an undrafted free agent. So take it away.
Yeah, Daquan Felton, the undrafted wide receiver free agent out of Virginia Tech, who actually should have a player preview coming out for him in the next couple of days. That he signed as an undrafted free agent, made some great catches today. He had one that was right over the middle. I think it was against Corey Black, where he just one-handed it, reeled it in, and he had another toe tap on the sideline. He's someone that when you watch his college film, I feel like he wasn't as, I would say that he didn't have a great catch radius in college, despite his size. But he looks like he's kind of opening things up a little bit more. Looks like he's making some more circus catches, which, again, weren't really on the film. But quarterback play held him back in college. Not saying that he's going to make the roster, but he should be a late summer body, I'll say at the minimum.
Or maybe a practice squatter, you never know, right? Depends on injuries and whatnot. But anyway, that's going to do it from OTA number 6. The Giants are next back, I believe, on Monday. They'll continue their OTAs. We are next in the building for next Thursday. I think that's going to be OTA number 9. And then the week after that, the 2-day mini camp wraps up the spring football. Then we're off on a hiatus. Not us here, Giants on
Never.
New York Giants on SI, but the team is off on a little break. And then we've got training camp, and of course we will bring you all that you need to know, all the latest from New York Giants training camp and OTAs.